So it's time to take the cat to the vet, but there's a problem. The moment the cat sees the carrier, they run and hide under the bed. So you try to lure them out using treats. Quickly, you grab a towel and scoop up the cat, and you try to shove the writhing ball of panic into the carrier, but the cat's not having it. They run off, leaving you all scratched up, and then you have to call the vet to reschedule. Does that sound familiar? Hi, I'm Misty. I'm a certified cat behavior consultant and fear-free trainer. I'm here to show you how you can train a cat to go into their carrier voluntarily so that it's a lot less stressful. In this video, I'll show you how to get started. I like to call this level 0. Before we can train the cat to go into the carrier, they need to be able to look at the carrier without freaking out. Start by turning the carrier into a cozy cat bed. Take the door off the carrier so it won't swing shut in the cat's face, or take the top off completely. Put a towel or bed inside that the cat has been laying on so it smells familiar. Make the carrier inviting for the cat. You can put treats in there or catnip or toys. Many veterinarians recommend using feel-away spray on a towel in the carrier. Spray the towel with feel-away to help the cat feel comfortable. Let the towel air out for 30 minutes before placing it in the carrier. This is so the alcohol solvent will evaporate. What is feel-away? Feel-away is a synthetic version of feline facial pheromones that they rub on things when they feel comfortable and safe. Humans can't smell pheromones. Studies have shown that it helps cats feel more calm. Leave the carrier out all the time so it's part of the cat's home environment. This is really important. The reason is, if you only bring out the carrier when you're taking the cat to the vet, the carrier becomes associated with going to the vet, which is a scary experience. Imagine if you had a family car that was only used for driving to the dentist's office. You would have some pretty big feelings every time you saw that car. It's the same idea. We want the carrier to become a safe place for the cat, not something that creates panic. If the cat has had a bad experience previously and they run and hide when they see the carrier, it's easiest to start fresh with a new carrier that looks and, to the cat, smells different. Through gradual desensitization, they should be able to relax and go about their business with the carrier nearby. Here, I'm playing a game with the cats so they can get used to being in the room with the carrier. Pay attention to the cat's body language. If the cat shows signs of stress, they may be overwhelmed. Some signs to watch for include staring at the carrier, glancing around, tail twitching, ears back or sideways, shifting their weight or leaning away, lip licking, shaking off, and sudden grooming. Which cat do you think isn't totally comfortable in this training session? If you answered Jasper, I agree. If you see signs of stress, end the session and consider how you can make it easier the next time. Try taking the top off the carrier, placing the carrier farther away, training in a different room, or at a different time. If the cat approaches the carrier hesitantly, slow steps forward, tail at mid-height or lower, toss a treat away from the carrier. This does two things. We're giving the cat something they like, while also providing some relief. The cat will learn that they don't have to approach the carrier to get a treat, but they can choose to approach the carrier and nothing bad will happen. If the cat walks away, end the session and try again later. They may need a break, or it's possible they've had their fill of treats. If the cat shows no hesitation, quick steps forward, tail held high, you can place treats leading toward the carrier or even in the carrier. Just make sure to toss a treat away every once in a while to give the cat an opportunity to take a break. When the cat starts to approach the carrier confidently, quick steps, tail held high, you're ready for the next level. Can you tell which cats are ready? If you said Piper and Abby, I would agree. Level 1. Approach and go in the carrier. Linus and Abby are best friends. They're training together to help boost Abby's confidence. Initially, Abby is glancing around, licking her lips, shifting her weight. This shows that she's not totally comfortable. After a few minutes, she starts to relax. Here, she's focused on my hand that's delivering treats. Linus is totally chill. He walks into the carrier with his tail held high. When I get the top of the carrier, Abby decides she's had enough, but Linus sticks around. He's comfortable going into the carrier. Level 2. Be okay with the carrier closing. Pearl is glancing around nervously. She stares at my hand as I close the door, and she wants to get out immediately. I didn't notice because I was busy making sure all of the cats had treats. When Abby goes inside, I pay more attention. First, I touch the door to see how she reacts to the sound. Then I close the door briefly and open it immediately. Abby stays inside, so I try it again. Once again, she stays inside. This is record progress for Abby. I toss treats away to give her a break. And she comes back for more training. Level 3. Be okay with the carrier moving. I like to tell the cats when I'm going to lift the carrier. I say 1, 2, 3, lift. Linus is glancing around nervously. He exits the carrier as soon as the door opens, but he sticks with me. He's still working on this level. Piper, on the other hand, is in her comfort zone. I tell her 1, 2, 3, lift. And she decides to hang out in the carrier after the door opens. Here, I'm lifting the carrier and taking it to another room. One, two, three, lift. Piper's looking around as we go. Her eyes are somewhat widened. Her ears and whiskers are forward. She may be a little bit nervous, but she's not crying, and she's not crouched in the back of the carrier, which suggests she's more curious than afraid. We're going into the bedroom, setting the carrier on the bed. After a moment, she comes out for a treat. For more advanced carrier training, check out my online course. We'll cover the next levels. Level 4, riding in the car calmly, and Level 5, confidently exploring new places. I often say that carrier training is a non-linear process. That means it's going to look different for each cat. I break it down into different levels, but the starting point and how many steps it takes is going to depend on that individual, their temperament, and their learning history. Every cat is going to learn at their own pace. Some will skip steps and learn fairly quickly. Others are going to take more time, and maybe even have some setbacks along the way. That's okay. If you're thinking this seems really overwhelming, let me reassure you that anything is better than nothing. Every little bit that you do to help your cat get more comfortable with the carrier is going to make it less stressful the next time. Now it's time for some frequently asked questions. What type of carrier works best? It's important to choose a carrier that's going to be sturdy and one where the top comes off so it's easy for the cat to remain in the carrier at the vet's office. These are the carriers I recommend. If you want a soft carrier, more duffel bag style, these are two that I like. For more details, check out my video on choosing a cat carrier. Does each cat need a carrier? Can I put multiple cats in one carrier? It's a good idea to have a carrier for each cat in case of emergency. One cat per carrier usually works best. We don't want the cats to fight if they get stressed. The exception would be if there are little kittens that keep each other company. What if I can't leave the carrier out? If you can't leave the carrier out for whatever reason, you'll need to do more training to make sure the carrier is associated with fun times, so when the cat sees it, they will readily go inside. Is it easier to train cats together or individually? Individually is usually easier. That way you can pay attention to the cat's body language and make sure to deliver treats in a timely manner. But a more honest answer is it depends. It depends on their personalities and their relationships. If the cats are best friends, they may train better together. Abby gains confidence from training with the other cats. If the cats don't get along as well, if they compete for attention or intimidate each other, then it's best to train them individually. Our other cats, especially Jasper, do better this way. What if the cat isn't interested in treats? That's okay. There's plenty of other ways to get the cat interested in the carrier. The first is to just make it nice and cozy and inviting. You can use catnip if your cat likes it. If your cat enjoys grooming, the carrier could become a grooming station. And for kittens, play works especially well. You can get them to play in and around the carrier, and that's going to make it a really fun place for them to be. Why give the cat a treat if they don't go in the carrier? Let's be honest, you can't really make a cat do anything. Trying to compel the cat to go in the carrier makes them conflicted. They want the treat, but they're scared. That's when injuries happen. Can't we just lure them into the carrier? If you lure the cat into the carrier and close the door before they're ready, it could be a scary experience for them. That will make it harder to get them in the carrier the next time. And worse, it damages trust. What if I need to get the cat in the carrier immediately and they haven't learned to go in voluntarily? If you're at level 2 and you can close the door, go for it. Recognize that you will need to go back and rebuild trust with the cat. If you're not at level 2 yet, don't ruin the training you've done so far. Make the setup look different when the cat doesn't have a choice. Ideally, scoop up the cat when they're relaxed and load them in through the top of the carrier. Ask your vet for tips on how to get the cat in the carrier safely. What if the cat is really fearful? I recommend working with a Fear-Free Certified or AAFP cat-friendly practice. These are practices that have taken the time to learn more about cat body language and how to decrease stress during veterinary visits. It can be helpful to refresh feel-away on the towel 30 minutes prior to a veterinary visit. If your cat gets very stressed with travel or gets carsick, ask your vet about calming supplements or pre-visit pharmaceuticals that may be appropriate. Or see if your vet offers in-home visits. This is particularly helpful for homes with multiple cats. For more personalized training, check out my website, fellowcreaturespets.com, or email me at fellowcreaturespets@gmail.com. Thanks for watching!
Right, Abby? And see how we feel about it, okay? She's in my carrier.
You're kind of blocking his exit.